Hey beautiful, good to see ya honey. Welcome back. Today we're doing one of my 5 steps or less tutorials, and if you aren't familiar with those, basically they're aiming to be, easy makeup tutorials. Usually I do eye looks, and that is what we're doing today. So I am aiming for like a pink and berry smoky eye. It's gonna be really cute, but it's super simple and anybody could pull this one off. So obviously I've already got my eyes primed and set, so we're gonna get going. Today I'm only going to be using 2 palettes, and that will be the Juvia's Place Magic Palette and the ColourPop All I See Is Magic Palette. So apparently these two are super magical. But all of the shades that I'm using today are fairly common and can be found in the more popular palettes these days, and definitely are interchangeable with some that may be similar that you have laying around, so no worries if you don't have these. We're gonna get started with the ColourPop palette, and I'm gonna go in with this one up top. It's just your everyday lighter matte shade to get the transition started. And I'm going to just throw her all over the place and buff and blend. You can barely see it, but I promise y'all it is there. So we are going to dip into the Magic palette and go in with this Camel Matte shade right here. And we're going to put it a little bit lower than the previous color, but we're sticking to our crease. Surprise! Feel like everybody knew exactly where this was going, but I have to say it anyways. We're going to move on to our next shade, and that's going to be a pink shimmer. I'm going to go in with this one. Now this I have several different versions of. You can find this one in the Carly Bible palette. You can also find it in the Jaclyn Hill palette. The Zulu palette by Juvia's Place has a similar shade as well. So if you don't have this palette, once again, no big deal. You can also switch it out with a light pink shimmer that you have laying around. So what I'm going to do is take some of this on my finger, just like I just did for the swatch, and we are going to start at our inner corner and just swipe it on. Now when I'm applying shimmers with my finger, number one, I feel like they go on a whole lot brighter than they would with my brush. I mean, shy of using like setting spray, your finger is the best way to do it. So when I'm applying shadow to my lid, I like to do short, quick swipes and then get some more shadow. I feel like this is one of the better ways of doing it instead of just rubbing it on there. Now, the only time that I do that is when I'm really trying to blend it and keep it from being intense, but we're trying to go with intense today, so swipe it up, girl. So now you can see that I dragged that pink just a little bit past halfway, and it's uneven, but that's okay, because we are going in with another color. This time we're busting out the ColourPop palette again. And eek, it's one of my favorite shades in this palette right here. It's a really pretty, like, raspberry, like a dark berry red. Oh, it's so pretty. So I'm going to take one of my tiny blending brushes here and put some on there. Be careful because ColourPop shadows, the mattes in particular, are soft pressed, like really softly pressed, and they will come up, you will get some kickback, it'll go everywhere. I learned the hard way, but you have me to warn you, so just be careful. So you can buff and blend it on there if you'd like, but I've been digging this little swiping motion where I'm swiping towards the inner corner, and I feel like it kind of blends it right on the edge of the shimmer at the same time. But after that, we're going to buff and blend a little. Once you built up the color a little bit, just take whatever's left on your brush and blend it out towards your inner corner. Now we're just going to take our blending brush, the one that we used for that camel shade from the Juvia's Place Magic palette, and just go over the edge a little bit. You don't need to add any more of that camel shade on there. We're just going to blend out the line and make it a little less sharp. Now, whether you decide to smoke out your lower lash line or not, that's up to you, baby. Everybody has their own preferences when it comes to the little things like that, which is why I don't include them in my 5 steps or less video unless it's like super important to the look. But I think that the inner corner highlight is a big deal for this one. So we are going to go with this shade right up top, and while it looks like it's white, it's actually like a really glowy gold. And we're going to put that right on the inner corner, but also drag it onto the lid just a little bit. And then down just a little bit too. Since we did a really bold inner corner, I'm going to go with this shade right up top. And it's like a cream white satin, but it still has a little bit of glow power to it. So I'm going to use that and do kind of a mild brow bone highlight. Though it looks pretty crazy on camera, it's still a pretty mild shade for highlighting. So I went ahead and smoked out my lower lash line just a smidge with this shade and this warm chocolate brown up top. I didn't add too much down there because I feel like our eyes are fairly dramatic today. For this look, I think a good nude lippy would do of any sort, but I hadn't used my Elizabeth Arden lip gloss in rose gold in a while, so you know what? I'm feeling it. As far as your cheeks go, I would recommend going with a berry or a pink blush if you have one. And then for the highlight, I decided to go with something very similar to what I used for my inner corner. This one is Gold Digger by Artist Couture. And this shouldn't be any surprise because it's literally my favorite highlighter ever. And I don't know if you can see with all the shine back and the lights, but it is like, oh, it's such a pretty glowy gold. And like I said, it's very similar to what I'm wearing in my inner corner right now, and I just felt like matching today. So that is it for my tutorial today. I feel like, yeah, it is kind of bold, but it's everyday bold, and it's super easy, super simple, and it's pink and girly. I love it! So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial today. Let me know down in the comments what you thought and what you would like to see next on my 5 steps or less videos. So I do eyes, lips, and cheeks, and I tried to do like a full face tutorial, and it somewhat worked out. It was 5-ish steps, right? In the meantime, that is it for today, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and go out and spread some love and positivity today, baby. We could all use some extra, and it is super important just to, you know, be nice to people. But you are beautiful, and I love you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.